My name is Kirk Franklin, and this is Voices. So my banger that I go to every morning for that heat is Romans 8:28. It talks about how all things are working together for the good of them that love the Lord. That means the good, the bad, and the ugly. God is making this cake, and it's got all of these ingredients that may not taste good on their own, but together they come up with this beautiful flavor of God making it work for your good. And so that's my joint. The reason why it was very important for me in one of the songs to be able to make the statement, don't just preach the gospel, be the gospel, is because we should not be comfortable with this limited space that we continue to keep the gospel in, where like our conversation about God is now seeming to be recycled in a bubble with those that already know. And so we're not doing a good job of expanding the conversation with popular culture, and it's because they do not see the gospel that we always preach. They don't see it in our lives, they don't see it in our marriages, they don't see it in how we live and treat each other. So the millennials are always breeding on authenticity. And when they don't see that it is an authentic truth of yours, then they're not going to buy in. And so that's why your faith must be something that oozes out of you naturally, and not something that you just pick up on Sunday, because that does not read like it's real. And so instead of preaching it, be it. And if you be it, they'll come. When you look at the life of somebody that you deem as a celebrity, and you're looking at their life in the middle of your chaos, your disorder, your despair, it is very easy to assume that money fixes all. And I know that the bag is the agenda for culture right now. It's about the bag. It's about how many stacks. A minute ago, it's about how many racks. Just whatever colloquial that you want to use. It still boils down to something that you probably cannot be able to empathize with, because it sounds so cliche. It's that money doesn't fix all things, but it's true. It is definitely true that the more you have, the more there is to worry about. And you would say, yeah, but I would love to switch places. I have slept in my car. I have had my car repoed on the church parking lot. I've been behind on my child support payments. I was so broke that the woman that adopted me, when she died, I pawned her wedding ring. I was 20 years old and I had no food, and I pawned her wedding ring. Now, it was stupid, it was dumb, but I was hungry. I pawned the lawnmower. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to be hungry. I know what it is to be sleeping in your back seat of your car for months because you got a dream. You don't have no high school education. You don't have a GED. It's all me. And so it's easy to think that when my career took off and I started getting a check, that it would fix all problems. Money really exposes what's already there. So whatever you were, money and success just reveals what that was and is. So I'm saying to you, and it's not going to fix the conversation, because you've heard it so much that it does sound cliche. Instead, money doesn't fix everything, but it's only going to happen when you fight to remember that pain is relative. Well, you know what? I don't know. Just because you have a record like Stomp, which was a very big record. A very huge record, and it had a rapper on it at the time, but it did not knock down these doors per se for the genre. And so is I think that we may a lot of times kind of put a lot of attention on a moment and try to make a moment a movement, and a lot of times moments are just moments. And the movements happen when God breathes on them. And we can't dictate which way he breathes. So if he doesn't breathe on it and it's just a moment, then it needs to be a moment. Like I remember when The Passion of the Christ came out several years ago, and then Hollywood started opening up all these faith-based companies. Like you had Fox Faith, and you had Warner open up. Yeah, you like it was a lot of different movie studios that opened up faith-based divisions because the Passion of the Christ did, I think it was 600 million. Yes, yeah, it did like 600 million. And so a lot of times we expect for there to be these waves. And we will never be able to predict the fingerprint of God. And we shouldn't, because really everything should be about me and my character and me growing as a Christian. Me, it's not about necessarily the wave, because the wave don't impact your character. It's just a wave. And you can ride the wave, but we all know, if you've been to the beach, waves end. Waves end. Man, it's always nervous. You always got the insecurities that pop up as an artist or just as an individual. Because I don't want to speak for artists. I want to talk about Kirk. You struggle with wanting the validation, but wanting to be content with the fact that God loves you and you should be Gucci with that. You know what I'm saying? And so you have that bipolar, type of battle, you know what I'm saying? No cap, and so you try to walk that out. You just really try to walk that out. And I really hope and pray that people tap into the body of music and to really feel like they can feel the heartbeat of God in the music, and that it's intentional, and that it wasn't just thrown away, and that they feel that it was time put into it, and that, that your boy labored over this record. And so I hope they feel that. This is your man, your boy, your cousin, your nephew, Kirk Franklin. How you doing, man? I got a new joint that drops this Friday, May 31st. It's called Long Live Love, because the greatest of these in the world is not what you rock, what you wear, who you with. It's about who you love, and about learning how to love those that are not with you. And so the only way to do that is to be reminded of how loved you are. No cap.